What's up?
We need to. The curse of me not unmuting the audio is
Oh,
striking again. Oh, and that's double mic. Let's not do double mic. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dapper D's. I'm Dippy.
I'm Dadley, and there's no Dono.
And Dono's daughter got stung by a bunch of wasps, which is unfortunate. So, you know.
The show must go on. We're hanging out. Best of wishes to what's going on.
Yeah, so Donald's daughter got stung by a bunch of wasps, and I'm Dippy because I swapped to the wrong microphone somehow. There are two microphone sources, and I was incorrect, but you were correct, so you're good.
Okay.
All right.
So,
and Chaos, oh my god, it's been a little bit, but we're back, finally, and we will slowly be transitioning into coming back over the course of these next couple of days, a couple of whatevers.
A lot of us have just been like big sad, not up for streaming.
Yeah, and like other things have been happening in our individual lives. So for now, we're just gonna say hello. How are you? Let's get back into this shit.
Bye, Dubby.
Buy Dubby energy drink. They're a wonderful company sponsoring wonderful people, and you know, it's been good stuff. It's got a lot of wonderful flavors. Use the code ANIPOD for 10% off.
Yep.
I think that's the obligation done.
Yes.
I think. All right.
Yeah, it's fine.
So without
we're doing tier lists and brackets today, like we're kind of what we've been doing before. But I just found out about custom wordles, so I made Dippy one that I wanted him to do first.
And we're gonna do that now. There we go.
Right? Meow.
All right. So I have it pulled up, and it is absolutely schmearing and schmetty to go. So this is a custom Wordle, but it's the same length as a regular Wordle, so I'll just take this one nice and steady to begin with. Hey, wait a second. Seems like this could go one of two ways. One really obvious way and one really dirty obvious way. And I'm curious because of...
To be fair, I was fully ready for you to start with Royal.
I mean, I still would have gotten a letter in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that! Thank you, Deadly. I appreciate it.
I thought that would be harder. Yeah, no problem.
You...
I pitched an episode of just Dippy doing Wordles that I made.
Let's do... So, in the near future, you'll see us doing custom Wordles, absolutely. So, with that out of the way, let's jump right into...
What a fucking weird small segment now that it took you 2 tries.
It only took me 2 guesses.
It was such like a... all right, no, never mind.
Let's build this up. We're moving on. Never mind. Wait, what? Where'd it go? It's just like... It's
it had a double
the
letter.
highway.
There is a Y. I was like, oh, this is a difficult word to get.
Although it is also my name, so...
Yes.
And I said it 3 times in the process of fucking up the audio, so I was primed for it already.
All right,
now
so we're doing
move swiftly onwards.
brackets.
We're doing brackets. We're doing tiers. It's called Tears and Fears because we're afraid of the brackets.
Yes.
Because, oh my god. But
because we have to fight whoever wins.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a one-on-one brawl at the end. Oh god. Oh, and should I pull up Lo-Fi Girl? I bet I should.
Yeah,
probably.
Why not?
Like, why not? Go go check out the wonderful people over at Lo-Fi Girl, who have a bunch of awesome music
that you're allowed to play on stream. Yeah,
you're allowed to play on stream. Now you can't hear. Can you hear the music through the share?
I cannot. No, I can also just pull it up myself if it'll be easier.
Here it is.
Because
here's Lo-Fi Girl's channel. Go check them out. We're gonna use their music for this stream. It's wonderful. Please don't copyright strike the video like I saw in one of our other videos because we're shouting them out. We're telling you, go check them out.
Oh, did they?
It wasn't a strike, but I saw a claim on one of the songs that Lo-Fi Girl uses, but whatever. And now you can hear it because it's in my window, yes?
No. Also, my phone charger is stuck in the wheel of my chair.
Unbelievable.
So I will handle that after. I can just pull it up myself, though. It's live. I'll be hearing it at the same time you are.
There we go.
Ah, there we go.
Okay. All right. So, without further ado, let us jump right in and do tier list numero uno. Nummer eins.
I want to make it clear, I know nothing about this one.
And I am here to teach you. So
Dippy's gonna teach me today.
So I've been falling back hardcore into a video game from my childhood. Have you ever heard of Age of Empires 2?
I have heard of it.
Okay.
Yes.
The original version came out in 1999. So it is so this game is almost as old as I am.
Yes.
Ever since then it's been slowly updated with well, from 1999 to 2013 there was not a lot other than the hello, it's good to see you, Primal Goddess.
Hello.
Wonderful to see you, wonderful. So in 1999 they released the original version of the game, and then in 2013 they brought it to Steam. And after from 2013 to 2019 they added a couple of DLCs, which added a couple of what are called civilizations, the selectable starting people in your game. You are basically playing as a Middle Ages civilization. And you are trying to defeat other players who are playing Middle Age civilizations. There are upsides to civilizations and downsides. There are unique units, unique technologies, unique ways to play the game, unique looks. And as of 2023, there are 43 different Middle Ages civilizations that you can play as. This ranking, like many of our other rankings in the past, is not an objective one. It is more of a subjective one of how I feel either playing as these civilizations or how they fit into the game, or, you know, just in general, my general vibe with the civilizations of this game, if you know what I mean. Because there are 43 of them, and I only regularly play about 2. So it's gonna be a lot of vibes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a little bit about who these folks are, too, as I go through them. So, in an attempt to do this quickly, these are the icons for the civilizations. There are no names tied to them, but I know all of the names because I've been playing them so much. So,
awesome.
Number 1 here is the Aztecs, the ancient peoples of Mexico. The only, really the only ruling empire of Mexico for about 100 or so years in the Middle Ages before the Spanish came over and then gave them all smallpox. And in the game, the Aztecs are very strong with infantry. They have a lot of Mesoamerican civilizations are not focused on as much because you don't get cavalry. You don't get horse riders with any of the Mesoamerican civilizations because none of the Mesoamerican civilizations rode horses until the Europeans came over. Oh. So, balancing a civilization around that is weird, but it's fun. And I have also played through the campaign for the Aztecs, which follows Emperor Montezuma. And it is a fun campaign, and because of that, and because of the Aztec civilization, it's going in Dapper. It's not my absolute favorite. It's a pretty fun one, though. And I like it quite a bit. Their unique unit is the Jaguar Warrior. And they have a bonus attack against infantry.
That's really neat.
So civilization
all I know
number...
about
I was
gonna say all I know about the Aztecs is from Road to El Dorado. So,
well, think about Road to El Dorado.
Yeah,
it's pretty fair comparison between the two. They have like really hefty monks in both the movie and in the game.
yeah.
It's a weirdly strong comparison between the two. So
good to know.
Number 2 was added in like 2022, the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. There used to be a civilization in the game that was just called the Indians from the subcontinent of India. And so many people thought that so grossly misrepresented the subcontinent of India that they released an entire bundled DLC called Dynasties of India, which added 3 Indian civilizations and changed the Indians to a new one. And this is the first one. And this is the first one of those. They are the Bengalis. So the Bengalis were a part of like northeastern India, where India kind of connects to Southeast Asia, so they have a lot more Southeast Asian influence. They go in depth. They're fun. Their unique unit has a weird mechanic where it can swap between ranged mode and melee mode. It's a little finicky. I haven't played them enough to objectively rank them as a civilization, but they're pretty good.
Okay.
Next up is the Berbers, the Northern Africans.
Barbers.
The Berbers. The barbers. They cut hair. That's their special power. They have faster villagers. They represent basically the Northern African, like the nomads of the Sahara Desert.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to get a lot of these historical descriptions wrong, but these are just what I've heard of them as. Like, this is what I think they're based off of from my studying them. The Berbers are still technically a classification, an empire to this day. They're just these nomadic wanderers, and they are like, they have settled northern Africa, and they fought a lot of other northern African peoples at the time, but then they kind of banded together. They were like the Islamic peoples that wandered northern Africa, so they took over Spain, notably, and turned Spain into a Muslim nation for about 100 years in the Middle Ages, until they converted back to Christianity. So in the game, just the fact that they have faster moving villagers makes them a pretty darn good civilization, because you can outrun like people raiding you, and like, it's kind of neat.
That's cool.
I like the Berbers quite a bit. They're gonna go in depth. They're not quite up there because I haven't picked them up in a while, but they're fun.
Okay. Yeah.
The Bohemians are basically the people who occupied the area of like southern Germany and like Czechia, Slovakia, that region of the world, when the Holy Roman Empire was still a thing. They are a dapper civilization as well.
When did they get a Rhapsody?
I don't know, about 70 years ago at this point. Is that song really that old? No, it's not.
No, I think it's like 50 years old.
It's like 50 years old. But yeah, they are going in dapper for one reason and one reason alone. The Hufnitze, which is an upgrade to one of the units in the game called the Bombard Cannon. And the Hufnitze is just, I love the Hufnitze a lot. It's basically just a bigger, more powerful, like, my dick is bigger than yours Bombard Cannon. And it's very fun to mess around with.
Hell yeah.
The Britons are dappist because they are A, one of the original empires from the game, B, the only one who I could originally understand the voice lines for when I originally picked up the game, C, they have one of the best unique units in the game, the Longbowman. The Longbowman spam is like a meme in the community. It's great. I love it. They are dappist for many reasons, but those are just my chief among mine. They represent the island of Britain, which some people have said, hey, why don't you have the Welsh? Why don't you have the Scots? Why don't you have the Irish as their own civilizations? People have theory crafted those civilizations into the game. Like, theory crafted, like, made their own build, but it's not accepted officially yet. And it's a good question. Bulgarians, pretty obvious, you know, they inhabited the area that is now Bulgaria. They inhabited the area which is now Bulgaria. The area which is Bulgaria. Hey!
Dropping bars.
And they were big enough that they were a threat to the Russians in the Middle Ages, or the Slavs, or the Kievan Rus. They were very powerful for about 200 years. And then they slowly kind of fell apart and kind of developed into the nation of Bulgaria, which got inseminated into the USSR, which then wasn't anymore, and like all that kind of fun stuff. So Bulgarians in the game have a unique unit called the Konik. They are a flail-wielding person who rides on horseback, and if you kill their horse, they get up and start fighting as an infantry again. I think that's really neat. I think it's a really fun concept, and I love playing the Bulgars whenever the Bulgarians, whenever they get picked for me randomly. They're dappist.
Okay.
I'll go through a couple more rapid fire here because I wanted to talk about all of these, but some of these you can kind of just stick in. Burgundians are a little niche. They're kind of like, they have some fun bonuses, but they're also like one-time bonuses. They're like, you kind of have a huge power spike once, and then it's not a very fun way to play the civilization. Their unique unit, the Coustiller, is very fun, but again, it's all about kind of like, let's blitz the enemy and come back instead of like a long-winded assault. The Burmese also have a very fun, unique unit. They have the Arumbai, which they just threw, like, lawn darts? Arumbai basically threw lawn darts at people. And
I mean, same.
Yeah, and it's just like, and it's like, boonk, and you now have like a 3.5-inch rod of metal in your skull. And they were deadly, but their accuracy.
Have you seen the dude that survived that?
Phineas Gage? I have heard his story. I have heard his story a couple of times, and it's ew. I don't like it. Not a lot. But they have a couple of other fun bonuses that bring them up the chart competitively. I like them personally as a civilization. They're dapper. I'll call them dapper. Byzantines, one of the OGs. They're the Eastern Romans. They have the strongest buildings in the game. They have very strong defenses. They have the cataphracts. They have the anti-counter unit. So things that would normally do more damage to a cavalry unit don't do that damage to a cataphract, because they're just so heavily armored. And but as time has gone on, they have just kind of fallen into that realm of obscurity. I'm not a huge fan of the Byzantines. I will play them. Celts are dapper. They're very fun. The Celts represent a large empire that spanned all the way from the Scottish British Irish islands, the British Isles, throughout all of like Middle Europe. They were large enough that they took over the area that was once claimed by the Holy Roman Empire at one point.
Good for them.
And they have a very fun unit. They are the tutorial civilization of the game, so they are the first civilization you play if you are playing the game. They're quite fun. I like them a lot. Dapper tier. Chinese have a little bit of a weird start. They start with more villagers, less resources. So you have to think differently about how you start your game, which is a killer for new players. But if you know what you're doing, they're very effective. They also have the Chukonu, a crossbow archer that fires 3 crossbow bolts in rapid succession, which is apparently based in reality. And I thought, I'm going to add this into a D&D game at some point. They're down.
Hell yeah.
The Cumans. Kind of... Now, here's my thinking, right? Mechanically, I would love to put them in Dapper.
They have the coolest emblem. Right at the back, I do have to say that. Their emblem is wild.
The Cumans belong in Dapper. So Cumans have a neat thing where, in the game, you're normally not allowed to build a second town center, which is where you produce villagers, which are your main economy-producing resource.
Okay.
You're not allowed to build more of them until the Castle Age, which is the 3rd stage of the game. Humans get a bonus where you can build 1 additional town center in the 2nd stage of the game, the Feudal Age. And that can be really strong if you want to boom an economy up with a lot of villagers collecting a lot of resources really quickly. They're all about early aggression because their late game sucks. It's bad.
Okay.
So they belong in Dapper just for the unique aspect of them, but not for much more than that. Dravidians are dullest. They were added in with the dynasties of India as well. They are a naval and infantry civilization. Their stable is almost entirely empty. They have scout cavalry and light cavalry. They don't have the knight line. They don't have any other cavalry in their arsenal. Their ships are okay. They're good. Their bonuses are okay. They're, they can be good.
Yeah.
Their unique unit is okay. I just don't see the Dravidians being a fun civilization to play in my own eyes. A lot of competitive people play it because of the bonuses, because of what they can do, and because of the unique unit. I don't like them personally. They're
that's fair.
Dullest tier.
Yeah.
The Ethiopians are dull. They have faster firing archers. They have a bonus for gold being easier to come by because of the Ethiopian Empire. No, that's the Malians. Ethiopians are duller because I can't remember their other bonuses.
There you go. That
and
checks out.
they were added in 2015 in the DLC called the African Kingdoms, because for a very long time, African kingdoms were not represented in the game. Berbers were added in that same expansion. And to this day, there still haven't been any more added other than the ones I haven't done yet and the ones I've already... Like, the Berbers, the Ethiopians, the Malians, which I'm going to go ahead and put in depth, because the Malians have a gold bonus, and they have a fun, unique unit. Malians from Mali, you ever heard of Mansa Musa?
Yes.
He was the guy who wandered around Africa, Asia, and Europe going, look at how much gold I have. He was the Malians.
Yep. Okay.
You also have access to the... Where'd they go? I don't see them. They're not here. Uh-oh.
We lost them. Whole civilization.
They're gone. Reduced to... No, the Berbers, the Ethiopians, the Malians... Oh, and added into that DLC were the Portuguese, because of how much influence they had over Africa at the time.
Okay.
So the Portuguese, fun civilization, really fun to play in and of itself. A gold bonus, they have the organ gun, which is like a bunch of cannons lined up next to each other, and it's just like fire, and you have like 7 projectiles that come out and attack enemies with.
That's
Can
neat.
be a little bit intensive. I like their playstyle personally. I'll put them in Dappist because of that. Because I like... If I love playing them, they're going in Dappist.
Yeah.
But this one's going to the bottom of Dappist because I haven't played them in a bit. And they can be a little one-sided.
No, totally fair.
Franks, Dappist. The Franks represent the French. The Franks are the strongest... Have consistently been one of the strongest civilizations in the game. With access to fully upgraded horse riders, paladins... paladins in the game are always on horseback with a shitload of health, a shitload of attack, a shitload of armor, but they're expensive to make.
Okay.
And fully upgraded Frankish paladins are a nightmare to deal with. If you can get to them, you get to them and you run with them. Goths are also Dappist. The Goths represent the Goths, the original migratory Germanic Goths that came from the Scandinavian Isles, and then when the drought, well, not drought, but when the long, hard winter, it wasn't an ice age, but an equivalent of an ice age came, they all kind of migrated south through Middle European territory when the Romans were still a thing, when the barbarians were beginning to take over the land, the Huns, which we're going to get to right here. The Goths, one of the memeiest civilizations in the game. They're known for one thing and one thing only, and it's called Goth spam. Their military production buildings work 100% faster than anyone else's. So you can just produce like 1, 2, 3, 4 of these like military units out of this building, all of, like in like one fell swoop, and you can just keep doing that if you have the resources for it, and it's very fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and the Dravidians, I forgot to mention, dynasties of India. The Dravidians are the southern tip of India and Sri Lanka. Which is why they're a naval civilization, because they were the water roamers of India. The Gurjars, or the Gurjaras, as they're spelled in game, were the central, like Chandragupta, the Gupta Empire of India. They were like the central body of India. So you have a lot of roaming camels and elephants, and the Gurjars in and of themselves are kind of fun, but not fun enough to put above dull.
Fair.
And then the civilization that replaced the Indians is the Hindustanis, which were the northwestern corner of India. They interacted with the Middle East, with basically the Islamic people of Asia. And they were like the Islamic Indians, and they're also very fun. They have a bonus which makes their villagers cheaper, which is almost always helpful.
That's very neat.
They deserve to be in DAP right alongside the Malians. Good bonuses, but I don't play them enough to justify them going any higher. Huns are a classic civilization. Fair. You do not need to build houses as the Huns. Houses, you normally have to build houses or castles or town centers to provide population space for your army, for your villagers. Huns, you just have your maximum population cap from the beginning of the game. And
oh, wow.
it makes it really easy to forget, like, to build certain buildings or to do certain things. But it also makes it really easy to just build all of your army all at once and then just go. Huns were the civilization in 90s Age of Empires or not 90s, 2000s Age of Empires, because you didn't have to build houses. You could just build your army and go. It was a quick way to play the game. And a lot of people enjoy the Huns. I do as well. They go to Dapper.
Hell yeah.
The Incas, or the Peruvians, they have the best unique unit in the game, the best economy in the game. I don't play them enough to justify them going in Dappist, but they're going to the top of Dapper, right next to the Aztecs. The Italians, just the Italians. It covers the entire Italian peninsula minus Sicily after the Roman Empire. And all of these people that kind of united under the Italian banner. One of my favorite civilizations from when I picked it back up in the teens, the 20 teens.
Yeah.
I don't play them nearly as much anymore, but they are going right next to the Portuguese and Dappist.
Yep.
Because I just have that much fun experience with them.
Of course, yeah.
A unique unit called the Genoese Crossbowman, which is a crossbowman that does more damage to horses. How that makes sense, I will still never know. It's wonderful. The Japanese, one of the greatest civilizations in the game, according to some people, and according to others, they're kind of a pile of doo-doo. A lot of people love playing the Japanese. A lot of people hate playing the Japanese, hate playing against the Japanese. I personally think that the Japanese are pretty good. Not good enough to be DAP, but they're all right. The Khmer, or the Cambodians, are an instant Dappist. So the Khmer have a bonus where their farmers automatically generate food rather than having to gather it and drop it off. So you can just place a Khmer farmer on a Khmer farm, and it's just a tick of food 1, 2, 3, 4, like constantly. And you can bug the shit out of so many people just by making automatic Khmer farms or taking over their farms and turning them into Khmer farms underneath their nose.
Oh, wow.
Their unique unit is an elephant with a ballista on top. What else do I have to say? It's hilarious. It's fun. Koreans are duller. They're one of the lower ranked civilizations in the game. They just got a new bonus, but I haven't played enough with it yet to determine whether or not it's good.
Okay.
Duller. They were never really one of my favorite civilizations in the game, and it stands to reason that they still shouldn't be to this day. The Lithuanians have a very fun bonus where if you collect a relic, which is a gold generating static resource on the map, which can be collected and brought back to your base. If you collect a relic, your cavalry becomes stronger. And they have a couple of other fun bonuses tied into their history. And they're really cool because they get winged hussars, and they belong in Dapper. Because in the game, there are such things as hussars, which were just a term for like a lightly armored cavalry rider with a long sword, and like, you know, they were just the buck standard, like, hey, let's go into town and quickly hire some people to ride horses.
Oh, all right.
In Lithuania, those horsemen were more well trained. In Lithuania and one other country that I'm going to get to, they were more well trained, they were given a better weapon, and they were given wings to appear more intimidating on the battlefield.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Look up winged hussars when you can. They're very, very cool. The Magyars, or the Hungarians. Fun civilization, fun bonuses. They have a fun unique unit, which can turn into a levy unit that only costs food. One of the only unique units to do so. And the Magyars they were one of my civilizations that I played a lot earlier on in my time playing the game. I don't play them as much anymore, but they deserve their spot in Dappist.
There they go.
The Malay, or the people of Malaysia, they are also a very fun civilization because they advance to the next age 66% faster than everybody else. Meaning they reach higher technology faster than other people do. Yeah. Which is a strangely fun bonus to play around with, but it can be hard to keep track of if you're experienced with the usual age up time, and you're like, oh no, I'm here now, I don't have the resources that I need. So Malay
That is
get
really
a
neat,
strong dull. Strong dull, like top of dull. The last American civilization is the Mayans. They were also like a Mexican empire. They were like southern Mexico when the Aztecs were like northern and central Mexico. The Mayans kind of really just duller. They don't stick out to me as much as other ones do.
Yeah, they're known for their calendars, and that's about it.
And they don't have a calendar in the game. F tier. No. The Mongols. These were the people of Mongolia, the Mongolian horde. Genghis Khan, some of the strongest cavalry riders to ever roam the nations of Eurasia. I can't put them above dull. A lot of people would call that sacrilege. I don't care. They're not watching this video. Persians are dullest. They have a really fun, unique unit in the War Elephant, but 9 or 10 or 11 other civilizations have their own version of elephants now. The Persians really need to get a different, unique unit, and they're going to be reworked very soon to get a different, unique unit, hopefully.
Okay.
But for now, they're dullest because their bonuses don't really make up for the fact that other civilizations have now gotten elephants. They were the original civilization in the game that had elephants. But then they added the Indian civilizations and the Southeast Asian civilizations and the whatever other civilizations that all get elephants. So it's not as much of a fun thing anymore.
It's not as much as a perk, yeah.
The Poles. These are representative of the original inhabitants of Poland. And they are my current favorite civilization in the entire game. So much so that I have taken up learning Polish in Duolingo. Because they are that cool. And they are that strong. And they also get access to winged hussars. And I love them. I love them. I love them. They are my
I was going to ask about that when you were done. Because I looked up winged hussars and everything popped up for Poland.
Yep. Lithuanians got access to winged hussars from Poland, being their ally at one point.
Oh, all right.
The Romans, the newest civilization in the game, an antiquity civilization in the Middle Ages. How is that possible? They're the people that you defeat in the earliest, like, campaigns of the game. You know, the Goths, the Goths and the Huns existed in, like, the 400s AD or so, and Rome was on its last legs in the 400s AD. So,
yes,
because the AoE relative time period begins in about 400 or 300-ish AD, the Romans were added in as a civilization to be played. And they are very fun. I have not played that many games with them because I just recently bought them, but a lot of people really like playing as the Romans. I'm going to give them an honorary dap because I'm just not sure.
Cool.
The Saracens are dullest. The Saracens are supposed to represent this giant blanket of, like, the Middle Eastern countries that were all underneath, like, the Ottoman rule that didn't automatically inhabit the peninsula of Turkey.
Okay.
So they were one of the original civilizations in the game that was like, hey, you're fighting the Middle Easterns now. And like, that's the Saracens.
Okay.
I think the Middle East could be divided up into a couple more nations. A lot of other people do too. They're dullest. So the Persians are in that same kind of category.
Okay. Yep.
I don't really... Sicilians, dullest. Sicily, the Sicilians, also known as the Normans, but they weren't named the Normans because, like, I don't know. But the Sicilians are kind of one of those civilizations that there's a new meta popping up for them, and a lot of people don't like it. And I tried it, and I didn't like it. And the Sicilians have a unique unit that is not that great, and they have bonuses that are not that great. Sicilians are just not in a great place right now. I don't personally care for Sicilians in the game that much. That doesn't mean that a lot of other people don't.
Yeah.
The Slavs. This is the umbrella Russian civilization. This is supposed to represent Russia and all of its people that did not defect to any one of these other countries. They get a DAP. They have one of the most powerful food bonuses in the game, and food is the most important resource in the game. They have a fun playstyle. Their unique unit is strong as shit, but they're expensive as shit, so you can't mass up too many of them unless you know what you're doing. The Spanish. They are a good civilization, or they were a good civilization. They are not so much a good civilization anymore. I'm putting them in dull. They could be a little bit better. Their builders work faster, but that oftentimes leads to idle villagers dying at the hands of enemies, and because they get done with the building faster than you thought they would, and the enemies are just focusing on them and killing them.
Okay.
The Tatars, very strange one. These are like the people that inhabited like between Mongolia and like Eastern Europe, who descended from the Mongols but were not directly related to the Mongols. They called themselves the Golden Horde, and they were like this very strong faction of like sub-faction of Mongols. I don't get their whole spiel. They go in duller.
Totally fair.
The Teutons, otherwise known as the Germans, the High Germans instead of the Low Germans. They were the original Holy Roman Empire. They have a lot of bonuses. They have a lot of bonuses dealing with. They have one of the most iconic, unique units in the game. They have one of the most iconic play styles in the game. They are one of the most iconic memes of the game. And I played through the Teutonic campaign of Barbarossa, the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, and it was very, very fun. I love the Teutons. I don't play them as much as I should, but I recommend the Teutons for a lot of people who want to start Age of Empires. The Turks. This is the umbrella. You know how I mentioned the Ottomans? The Ottoman Turks?
Yes.
This is them. They're fine. They're passable. They're missing quite a few units that would put them in contention with a lot of other civilizations. I don't care. They have really strong bombard cannons and really strong they have really strong gunpowder and really strong hussars. Free hussar upgrades, but you have to make them after they're upgraded.
Yeah.
They're great, but not great enough to go above dull. The Vietnamese. We're coming to our last two here. The Vietnamese, otherwise known as the people of Vietnam. They are a very unique civilization in that they create archers. But those archers are good against everybody else's archers because those archers have high pierce armor, which is the armor that goes against archers. So an anti-archer archer as their primary playstyle. I love it to death. I'm going to put them in Dapper. Maybe top of Dapper, right underneath the Incans. And finally, the Vikings. Another umbrella term that a lot of people are upset with. Because you could turn the Vikings into the Swedes, the Danes, the Norwegians, the Greenlanders, the Icelanders. But instead, they're just...
The Highlanders. There's only one of them.
Only one. And they're not. And they're just the Vikings, but they... Not much else to say other than they're in the state that they're in. You're kind of dependent upon it being a map that is covered in water because they have some of the best water in the game. They have the longboats, and they're fun, but they're not fun enough on land only maps to merit going above dull, in my opinion.
Okay.
And there's your list.
There's the tier list.
Hot and bothered for you to peruse at your own leisure. The polls are just great. I love playing the polls. If you see me playing online on Age of Empires, more than likely I'm going to be playing the polls. So please don't counterplay. Please don't counterpick polls because I love them so much. Where did
on that note, give me 2 seconds. I need to grab my AC remote. I'm fucking melting in here, but you were going off so much I didn't want to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go right ahead. I will continue for just a hot moment. Or a cold moment, for that matter, because I'm already air conditioned. Hey guys, I'm here all day. So how's everybody doing then? How's everybody feeling? Feeling good? Feeling all right? Chaos, Primal Goddess. It's good to see y'all again after a little bit. I've been focusing on a lot of other stuff, but I'm glad to be back doing this with Dadley here. And hopefully Dono on the weekend. That means you too, Chaos. We'll be playing an episode this weekend. So you heard it here first. And now I continue to wait for the vamp. Oh no. The walls. Closing in. Quickly. Rapidly. No.
Love you.
Oh. At work? Yeah, I understand.
I said love you.
Ah. Oh. I thought it. Thought you were
Hello?
talking to me for a second. I was like, wait a second.
I didn't mute myself.
Incredible.
No, I said I love you to my kids, and they didn't say it back.
Wonderful. So, we now move swiftly onwards to our
Yes. What do you
second,
want to do next?
to our second tier list of the video.
Ah, okay.
Because I've been blathering about the fucking Age of Empires for almost 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let us continue on to Pokemon games. Dadley,
Pokemon games.
the floor is yours.
I'm doing just that. I wanted to do all the legendaries, and then it turns out there is 160 something legendaries.
126, I think, was the number you said.
Yeah,
literally.
like wild. There's too many at this point. That's 10% of the Pokedex. Why is 10% legendary, very rare, one of a kind Pokemon? Anyway, we're doing all the Pokemon main series games. Some of them I'm gonna storm through. I've played all of them at least once, but there's some.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That's impressive. I like that.
Yeah, I've done at least one playthrough of every single Pokemon game besides Let's Go Eevee. I think is the only one because I bought Let's Go Pikachu and I didn't want to spend the other extra $60.
Again,
I may or may
impressive.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of them may or may not be played on my computer through downloaded sources.
It's a magical piece of software that automatically throws
Yes.
the screen of the Game Boy up onto real time.
Yeah. So, with that being said, some of them are going to get stormed through because, like, really quick,
Sure.
Diamond and Pearl, we don't have to go to those right now. You don't have to fish for them, but, like, there's no different. It's just exclusive Pokemon. There's no big changes in a lot of these games.
Here's
So-
Diamond, here's Pearl. Where do they go?
Oh, okay. Diamond and Pearl go in DAP for sure.
All right.
Diamond and Pearl. So Gen 4 is where I started.
Platinum?
That was Platinum is Dappest.
As
Platinum has the bigger Pokedex, has an amazing fucking post game. The legendaries are, in my opinion, the best legendaries from Pokemon games so far. It's the gods of time and space, and then the god of hell, basically.
The God of Hell.
That's what it is. You get transported to this weird backworlds world where you're walking on the wall, and then there's just a demon that's like, you can catch me in a Master Ball. Like,
You can catch me.
Pokemon's weird.
You can catch me in a Master Ball if you like. Although you'll
right.
have to master my ball.
I wish whoever made this put this in like order.
It's in alphabetical order.
Oh, it's an
It's
alphabetical
in perfect
order.
alphabetical order is the problem
Well,
here. So
All right.
So if
we'll
it's,
just
if you want to go through them in alphabetical order, it won't be generation specific, but you have Alpha Sapphire.
yeah. No, all right. So starting with Alpha Sapphire.
Apple
That's going in
Sapphire.
Apple Sapphire. That's going in Dapper. Great games. I mean, it's like the remake of the OGs, and it's the remake that is the pinnacle remake. These are so fucking good. They're a lot better than the original. These had Primal Kyogre and Primal
Groudon.
Kyogre and Groudon. Yeah. Going right on. What is that?
Black 2.
Black
Yeah, Black 2 and Black.
Yeah, all right. So Black is gonna be Dap and Black 2 is gonna be Dapper. It's just like they're very similar games. The stories are a little bit different, the gyms are a little bit different. For the most part, Generation 5 was the generation that was supposed to be like the revamp of Pokemon. That's why it did. Yeah, so it's the biggest addition to the Pokedex. The first time you play Black 2 or Regional Black is a brand new Pokedex. It is completely all new Pokemon. There are no regional outside Pokemon until you beat the game.
Really?
It was supposed to be like kind of a refocus of Pokemon to get back to, hey, look at all these original new Pokemon. It's original new world.
Which is
based
why
on
5
France.
had so many
Yes.
things added to it. Wow.
Yeah, 5 had a lot of weird features like rotation battles. where you had 3 Pokemon on the field at one time, and only one could attack, and they're on like a spinning board. It was very weird game. Very like reminiscent of like more of the stranger RPGs to come out of Japan, but very neat games.
Interesting.
Pokemon Blue?
It's blue.
Yeah, that's blue. It's a classic. It's gonna go with Dapper. It's a classic. It's one of the OGs to start it all. I will say, like, it is a debate where you blue or red. I've played them both. There's not a difference besides, I think, Pinsir and Scizor.
I didn't play either one, so I can't contribute. Fuck you, I'm yellow. No.
Dude, I'll get into that. Okay. Pokemon Crystal.
Crystal.
Gonna go with Dull. I know this is a lot of people's favorite. It's one of the only ones I've only ever played once. It's just not that memorable for me. And then we have Emerald. Emerald's the best. There is no getting it. Emerald is the best. Yeah, it is the best. The battle tower in the frontier, absolutely perfect. It was one of the best things they ever did for Pokemon was make the game last longer than beating the Elite Four. Gave you a reason to keep training Pokemon and catching it. Also gave you a good reason to complete the Pokedex. Emerald is top tier.
I agree.
Oh, that's Fire Red.
Fire Red.
Fire Red's the remake. It's gonna go in Dapper. Yes, of Red. It's gonna go in Dapper. It's hard to beat the originals, and it's just a good remake. It is.
And then you have Gold and Heart Gold.
So regular Gold is gonna go into Dull as well. It's my least favorite jet. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
Heart Gold is gonna go into Dapper. Actually, they added a lot of really good features to the game. It's a lot of fun.
There you go.
This is where, like I said, it's gonna be rapid fire. Leaf Green's just gonna go in Dapper as well. Everything I said about Fire Red, Leaf Green is the same. The Let's Go games are hard. I don't understand why not hard as in difficult. No.
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah.
I don't feel like they're main series games. Like the catching mechanic is all motion controlled, like Pokemon Go. And they removed abilities from Pokemon. No Pokemon has abilities anymore in that game. It doesn't feel like a main series game.
Oh no.
It's gonna go in, both of them are gonna go in Dull, with the caveat that these are meant for kids. I know all Pokemon games are meant for kids, but these are very much the most kid-friendly Pokemon games in the world.
Yeah. I can see why that would be like an issue though.
Yeah.
Why you got to tish with that ish.
Yeah. As a fan of Pokemon, I found it was very lackluster. There's not a lot to it. So.
Pokemon, let's go to the
yes.
I'm surprised Pokemon Go's not even on here. I mean, if it was, where would it go?
Oh, Pokemon Go would be in Dappist. I still play it to this day. I'm one of the few people still kicking around on it. Which I want to make clear was the tier list I was looking for. I was looking for Pokemon spin-off games.
Oh.
Because I thought that would be a more interesting list.
Okay.
Because you got XD and Rangers and Go and stuff like that. Now Pokemon Sleep, which is weird. Essentially they just made a sleep tracker.
Moon.
They did. Moon is gonna go in Duller.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not that big of a fan of the Alola games.
Does that mean Sun goes in Duller as well?
Yes. Yeah, Sun also goes in Duller. I just realized this doesn't have the this is behind too. At this point.
Yeah, it doesn't have Scarlet or Violet.
Or Sword and Shield.
Oh, it doesn't have Scarlet, Violet, Sword, or Shield. Wow.
All right, okay. We'll talk about those at the end.
Yeah, sure.
Omega gonna go up into Dapper as well. Omega Ruby, absolutely fantastic.
Right next to Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. Red is gonna go. Yeah. I know I put blue. I'm just tired of the Charizard love. Charizard is overhyped.
Why can I weirdly agree with you on that?
It's too much. I'm so tired of almost every single video game being like, or every single Pokemon game being like, we Charizard representation. No, you fucking don't.
No. No, you don't. Ruby and Sapphire, the original Ruby and Sapphire.
Yes, those are gonna go in Dap.
Ooh,
they're fine. Okay. They're good. If I'm gonna play them, I'm gonna play their remakes. Their remakes are just more fun. Like.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Silver and Soul Silver.
Silver is gonna go in Dull. Soul Silver is gonna go in Dapper.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. Again, they just add a lot to the games. Here's where I'm at with this though.
Ultra
Sun
Moon,
and
Ultra Sun.
Dapper.
Wow.
They expanded the decks. They added a lot of good shit to the game. Had one of the hardest fights in all of Pokemon in those games with Ultra Necrozma, if I remember right. Great final bosses. Which is hard to do in a Pokemon game, because you could just sit and over level and get stupidly strong very easily.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Black 2.
White 2 and White.
White 2. Where did I put them?
Black is in Dap. Black 2 is
Dapper?
Is in Dapper, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, same for those. Like White and Dap.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There we go. White and White 2.
Yeah. X and Y, these are duller. Not a gen I was a fan of. And then Pokemon Yellow is dullest. It's the same game, but you're stuck with a Pikachu that doesn't evolve ever.
What?
You can't evolve your starter Pikachu in those games.
Oh my god.
Which also, really quick, is another gripe I have. Let's go Eevee. Is you're given an Eevee. Eevee has so many evolutions. You can't evolve that Eevee all game.
Oh no.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh no. Oh god.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's my tier list.
Emerald and Platinum up where they
always
belong.
Tops. Yep.
Alpha, I'm surprised that basically, so Emerald and Platinum are combined versions of their generation's original games.
Yes.
Kind of like Green was for, or not, well, Green was just a third type along with Red and Blue.
Green is just another one. Green was released in Japan instead of Blue, and then they Americanized Green to come here.
Right. So you have the combined versions of two of the greatest generations of games. Then you have all of the remakes except Blue. And then you have most of the originals for a lot of the generations. Then you have Generation 2 and Let's Go in its own category. Then you have Generations 6 and 7 in their own category. No, not 6 and 7, 5 and 6. In their own category. And Yellow.
And then, really quick, Sword and Shield are duller.
Oh my god, really?
They're great stories narratively. It's one of my favorite Pokemon games. But the fact that the same console that has those shitty graphics also made Breath of the Wild fucking pisses me off. Pokemon is the most successful franchise in the world, and they released a very poor looking video game, and then Scarlet and Violet would be DAP at best for pretty much the same. They released half a game. Like, it was unfinished on release. There are so many glitches and whatnot. There is shit for a post game. Like, but it goes up for me because I do like that they did so much different things, having the gyms and Team Star and the Titans. So every single like element in Pokemon typing had its own like boss to take down. That was fucking neat. But besides that, it was very. Actually, now that I'm saying this, Scarlet and Violet might be Dapper because it had the best story in all the Pokemon games.
Wow, that's a bold claim.
Oh yeah, do you care if I spoil it? Like, I don't care.
I haven't played it. I don't plan on playing it. But for everybody else out there,
spoilers.
Spoiler warnings for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's story mode. Go on.
You have the 3 stories. In the game.
Stories.
You have,
yes,
it's just you trying to take down all the gym leaders in the Elite Four. Every other Pokemon
that's
game.
one.
There's Team Star bases. That's the bad guys of the game and whatnot. They have their own bases. But then you find out they're not bad guys. It was a group of kids that got tired of being bullied at school and the teacher's not doing anything. So they essentially became bigger, tougher bullies. And they're just misunderstood kids.
Oh.
And like, what a great story in a Pokemon game.
Well, there you go.
And then the third one is Titans, this massive giants of Pokemon that you're taking down because somebody's dog, basically, it's a Pokemon, but it's just a fucking dog, is dying. And these things are becoming Titans.
Somebody's dog is just...
It's just somebody's dog. And then, if you beat all of those, you get a fourth storyline where you'll find out the professor the whole time was a robot. Yes.
Is that what the paradox forms come from?
Yes, he built a time machine, and he's been sending Master Balls through it, catching Pokemon that are now coming back, and that's how we get Paradox Pokemon from the past and the future.
Oh, okay.
Great story for a Pokemon game, sincerely. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There is your Dapper tier list for Pokemon games. I have already saved it. It is in your pattern. And so, we moved swiftly onwards, once again, from one type of content to a whole nother. From the same people who made this website, Tastier Adventures, we now bring you over to their sister website, Bracket Fights.
Bracket Fights.
So,
this is my bread and butter. I love this
shit. We have kind of both agreed that Bracket Fights feels like better content. Just a little bit. Like, I personally like tier lists because everything in a tier list is still representative of the thing you're grading. Bracket Fights is a little bit more competitive in that, like, hey, not everything you like is going to be at the end. Yeah, there's one winner. Instead of there being, like, in my Age of Empires list, there were, like, what, 10 winners? There's one winner in this. Yeah, and you may notice... You had two, yeah. And in this case, you may notice that these are NFL logos. Then this is the updated to current day, present day, of NFL teams. But we're not going to be but we're not going to be ranking NFL teams based on their players, based on their stats, based on their coaching, how likely they are to make the NFL playoffs, how likely they are to win a Super Bowl. Are you crazy? This is Bracket Fights. Not the logos. Shit. Let me try that again. This is Bracket Fights. The mascots are fighting.
Yes. Who will win in a fight?
Who will win in a fight between a cardinal and a raven? Literally.
I mean, a raven easily, right? Ravens are just really smart
sure
birds.
About that? Cardinals are smart too, though. Cardinals are smarter than you think they are. Ravens are but ravens are. Ravens are really
they collect shiny things. They're gonna pull up in the fight with a knife.
Tools.
Like
ravens,
use tools. Ravens are hella smart.
Cardinals are ferocious, but a raven's got a gun. Like, I think a raven is winning that. Indeed.
Yeah.
So, goodbye, Arizona. Maybe think of a tougher bird or a smarter bird.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So now we actually kind of have a very similar vibe here. The Panthers and the Bengals. And the Bengals are obviously a form of a tiger.
Yeah.
And Bengal tigers are big. Have you seen how big Bengal tigers actually are?
Yeah, they're fucking giant.
They're huge. They're like you look at whatever his name is, not Roz. What's his name in Aladdin? Tiger Kid, you know. I don't remember his name.
I don't know.
Raja?
Raja, yes.
Yeah, you look at Raja in Aladdin, and Raja is like maybe as tall as Jasmine if he stands up on his hind legs. Bengal tigers are like twice that size in real life.
Yes.
If at their biggest, they're huge. But Panthers, pumas.
I just looked it up. Panthers grow to be around 7 feet.
And tigers grow to be about 8 or 9.
Yes.
So Panthers are nothing to be shaking a stick at, but are Panthers really more ferocious than tigers?
I'm going tigers all the way.
I would probably go tigers in a normal matchup.
Not including tail, tigers get up to 10 feet on average. Jesus.
Tigers are easily winning that fight, which makes a horrible matchup for... Okay, we'll come back to that, though. We'll come back to that.
Here's where it really becomes complicated.
The Cowboys versus Lions. Or the Lions?
The question is,
so what era of Cowboys are we in? Because I imagine...
Also a good question.
Because I imagine, like... To make it fair, it's one of each mascot. But we might tweak that as we go through this list.
Yeah.
And see if we can make it like a fair fight. Like, we might roll dice for, like, how many ravens are fighting this tiger.
That sounds fair. Yeah. Because, like, I don't know who, like, because there's too many variables between a cowboy and a lion.
A cowboy, think about a cowboy's arsenal. He has a lasso. He is definitely going to have a pistol, maybe two.
Yeah.
On a whim, he might have a rifle. Maybe.
He definitely has a can of beans.
But these are all... He has a can of beans. And lions have razor-sharp claws. They can be up to about 7 or 8 feet long as well.
Yep.
At their biggest. An adult lion is incredibly ferocious.
Oh, actually, no. Lions, on average, normally get 3.5 feet.
3.5 feet? Is that tall at the shoulder, or is that...
I think that's standing on all fours, now that I'm looking.
I was about to say, tall at the shoulder, 3.5 feet. How long?
10 feet.
Outstretched, just like a tiger. Well...
Yeah. I think... I did...
It's one lion...
Where's this fight? In my brain, this fight's happening on a football field, by the way.
Do you want... Okay, we can think about that too. Let's actually go back up for just... Birds, I mean, it's in the air. They're both birds.
It's a
Tigers or pumas, that could reasonably be either a fight in the mountains or a fight in the African savannah.
Oh, see, like I said, I've been... In my brain, this is just like on a football field.
I'm sure... As funny as that is, we just...
Like, this is what you bought your NFL ticket to go see.
You bought an NFL ticket, you walk out and there's 2 cages in the middle of the NFL field.
One of them has a cowboy.
And the other one has a lion in it. Okay. If the cowboy has a gun, literally a gun, he stands a chance.
The cowboy has it, yeah.
I
think the cowboy wins if he has a gun.
Because have you seen a charging lion? Charging lions can survive at least 1 bullet.
No, but I think it's gonna get scared off by the noise.
If it's fighting for its life, it's not getting scared of an explosion. Not necessarily.
That's fair. That's fair. I think. Oof.
It's a toss-up in my head. It's a toss-up in my head if the cowboy has a gun. If the cowboy doesn't have a gun, there's no fucking chance.
The cowboy definitely has a gun, though. He's a cowboy.
I wonder then if I can just, because I swear to God I have. What did I do with my okay, there they are. I just put some stuff in front of them. Okay. Let's just flip a coin for a cowboy versus a lion. Like, I feel like it could go either way. It could go either way.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point where we have convinced ourselves it could go either way.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't call it. Also,
heads cowboy, tails lion, because lions have tails.
Okay. Perfect. And on the field of play, the Lions versus the Cowboys, it's a victory for the Cowboys. He gets that shot off. He
has good aim.
Dead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he gets a headshot. Like, it's dead. Okay.
They started calling him Lion Boy after that.
Similar situation. The Texans or the Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They're the Houston.
This is just the Cowboys with better guns.
It is. So unless, what era of Texans are we talking about? Are they cowboy? Yeah, the Alamo era Texans. So if they're at the Alamo, they have a lever action rifle, almost certainly. And like again,
I think they have it. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they do. Jaguars are fierce, though. They have camouflage.
Yes.
They have camouflage.
Well,
not for a football field, but
if it's in the jungle, the Jaguars win this. But just at any NFL stadium, the Texans win.
That again, I think the Texans have it, which makes it a little more fair for that matchup, I suppose. I imagine if one of the cats moved on, it would just be, oh good, a person with a gun just shot 2 cats. Like, great, next matchup, please. And it might still end up that way. It might. Okay, let's move on.
It's just a hunter.
That's the thing, though, is they're not called the hunters. They're the... Yeah, so... This one isn't... We have to decide what the mascot is for the Chargers versus the Vikings? Is it just a bolt of lightning? Is it just parades out onto the field with a plug, sets it on the ground, walks away. It's like,
Fight.
And then the Viking, like, we just
He's scared of it. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And the Chargers win.
It's modern technology. Like, what be this? What be this magic? You sorcerer! And he just like takes an axe to it and cuts the corn in half. And great, now there's two of them.
I think the Vikings just get a free win because the Chargers don't have a mascot. That's what it boils down to.
That's
Like,
fair, unless it's a literal just bolt of lightning from God. Like, in which case, I would almost roll to see if the lightning bolt misses.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that I feel like with how unlikely it is gonna get struck by lightning.
It's like it's like 1 in millions of odds, right? So let's roll a D100. If the lightning bolt,
if it's 5 or lower,
5 or lower, or 95 or higher, which one?
Yeah, 95 or higher.
95 or higher. If it's 95 or higher, the Chargers move on because Zeus is deadly accurate today.
Yes.
Here we go. Hold on. I got a 90 on my percentile, but I need to re-roll the 10 because it landed cockeyed.
Okay. All right. This went
chances
from
have improved
a wild chance to a
drastically.
50-50. Okay.
It's a 97. The Chargers win.
It's the metal helmet. It made it easier for
Strike
him.
me down, Zeus. You don't have the Chargers move on.
I thought I would become 4.
Oh God.
There's another weird one.
This is such a fun thing so far. Okay. The New Orleans Saints or the New York Jets? Okay.
What is this?
Let's be very generous here.
It's a foot race.
I was about to say, let's be very generous here. Saints, in the Catholic religion at least, in the Catholic whatever, have been known, or at least one or two of them, well, only one was really able to perform like true miracles according to the teachings of the Bible, but there have been people who have enacted miraculous acts.
Yes.
Like, a really fun story related to this, actually, is the story of, I think he's a saint now, is the story of Padre Pio. So Padre Pio was a monk in Italy. I don't know what part of Italy. He was an Italian monk. And he was a very holy man. A lot of people came to him for, like, spiritual advice and succession and all this other stuff. And he was actually documented as having performed the miracle of transfiguration. He was sick and lying in bed in his monastery, and there was reports from a passenger airliner of a man floating in the clouds outside the wing of their plane. And when they came back to him, when Padre Pio came back to, he recalled seeing a vision of the clouds of the, like, the heavens above or whatever it was, and then just a plane passing by. And he described the plane, and the plane matched the accounts of the guy who was in the plane, and it was like, that's a horrible bastardization of the story, but it's believed to be true. So, I still don't know how to rule this, though.
I see this very simply as,
let's take the
humans can take down
airplanes.
a plane.
That's true.
Like, there's not going to be a person in that plane. It's not the jet pilots.
Yeah.
It's just the jets.
Right.
Humans can pop that gas tank.
I mean,
like,
that's fair. That's very fair. But then again, a jet is going to be a stationary object otherwise. It doesn't really have a chance.
What do you say? The jet didn't have a chance to get into this.
What do you say?
The chat is piloted by Chat GPT.
You know?
Oh, so you are right. He is a saint. I googled him. He did get his sainthood.
He is a saint now. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
He deserved it. Okay, so
He had a movie made about him last year.
Padre Pio did?
2022. There was a movie that came out about him. Movie. It's called Padre Pio.
Oh, it's just called Padre Pio. Okay.
Oh my god, it has a 1.8.
Oh god. Well, that's just religious haters, religious hating, probably. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe it's a the
top one, like the top review, is saying that like, hey, I'm a very religious person. I followed the story very closely, and all they did was glamorize it for a movie. They didn't follow any of the events accurately.
Oh.
It's such a shame. So, okay, that's disappointing.
That is a little disappointing. So the Saints win.
The Saints win, yeah.
Which is gonna make another very interesting matchup here for a second. Okay.
Battle of the religions.
Exactly. Okay, so we have. Oh God.
Is it Eagles versus some
Philadelphia
person from...
Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, a 49er in the definition is they were a gold rush, like a gold miner, basically. So they were either panning for gold or they were going down into like a gold mine shaft or whatever it was, and they were just mining for gold. They were working. They were workers, basically. But a very abstract definition of 49er is that they were just frontiersmen from California. So guns, maybe. I say if we take the literal definition and just make it a gold miner, he just has a gold pan or a pickaxe, and he has to fight this eagle.
I want to very quickly point out that I looked up what is a 49er.
Okay.
And the first thing that popped up was Urban Dictionary. In case you are lost on it, a 49er is a person that is around a 4 in attractiveness with the confidence of a 9.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Well, that's a whole different definition entirely.
That's totally different. All right, so he has a pickaxe, because that's a better weapon. We're giving him a pickaxe.
We're giving him a pickaxe, and the eagle, it's a bald eagle in the picture. Let's make it a bald eagle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fairness sake.
I think the eagle has it.
Honestly,
go for the eyes. Like, the eagle has it.
The eagle is going for the eye. It's flying around. Like the 49er might have like a weird lucky shot at just like pickaxing the bird straight in the chest. Yeah. But like the eagle's too fast for him. I think
the eagle has it. The eagle can like knock out the eyes and run down the clock.
I think the eagle has this.
Yeah.
Oh God. Wait a second.
What do we do?
Okay, this is the old logo. This is the old logo. So they used to be the Washington Redskins. A lot of people didn't like the name Redskins. A lot of people did. They got rid of it. That's not our place to say. They, for about 2 years, they were the Washington football team, which is what this logo represents.
Which I think this is what we have to do.
Or the modern name is the Commanders, and a commander would just be a guy in a suit in a war room pressing a nuke button and nuking the stadium. Like, so let's take.
I like the idea of a football team versus Pirates.
Yeah. So also that brings up an important point. If the name is pluralized, how many of them are there? Because all of these have been pluralized so far, right?
I think just keeping it a 1v1 makes it easy for now. As we get deeper into
so
what we might have to start.
Team.
Yes, it's one football team.
And you are only allowed to have 11 men on the football field at any one point, or 11 players.
That's not the whole team.
The whole team you can have up to like 50, I think, in reserve.
Yeah, it's a football team.
It's 50 men versus one pirate with a sword. And the men are not armed. It is barehanded combat for the men, unless they have. Like, they have their
football gear.
So so it's 50 men with their gear and one football versus a pirate. Now he might have a gun as well. Buccaneers were known to carry swashbucklers, especially were known to carry like either single load flintlocks or. Later on in their tenure, were known to carry revolvers.
This has to go to the football team, though, right? It's a pure numbers game.
Like 50 men 50 unarmed men and one football in football gear versus one pirate with a sword and a gun. Like,
Yeah.
the pirates taking out maybe 2 or 3 of them. So the football team is moving on, but I say that we eliminate a certain number of the people on the team because the pirate went down swinging.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling a D10.
Yes.
He got rid of 4 people. So now it's a team of 46 people.
That was a good. That's the one that's getting the ESPN highlights and whatnot. Like,
yeah. Okay. And in the West, we have the Falcons versus the Buffalo Bills.
oh my God, this is the hardest one yet, in my opinion.
A Falcon versus a Buffalo?
I don't know.
Oh, God. Wait a minute. I mean, they're called the Bills because they're from Buffalo, and it's making a reference to Buffalo Bill. But their logo, their mascot is a buffalo.
It's a buffalo. Yeah, it's a buffalo.
So it's a buffalo versus a falcon. Falcons are tiny compared to buffaloes.
They are. They're not
just
that fucking
small compared to buffaloes. I mean, if it was a man,
yeah, but,
if it was,
what's the buffalo going to do? It's just gonna be up there. Like,
I mean, that's true, but the stipulation is that they have to fight, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's just gonna like swoop down. I think what it boils down to is the falcon cannot kill the buffalo.
The falcon would get tired. So the falcon is gonna attack the buffalo like a couple of times. It's gonna swoop in, and it's gonna swoop in, and it's gonna swoop in, and it's gonna hate it, and it's gonna get tired, and it's gonna like lay down on the grass to rest, and the buffalo's just gonna step on it once, and it's gonna die. Like that's what it comes down to.
It's a 4th quarter win. The Buffaloes.
It's a 4th quarter win. Oh God! Oh God! What does this even imply? The Chicago Bears versus the Cleveland Browns?
It's a family. It's the Brown family. The Browns. They're having a cookout. Some Bears stroll up.
Oh God! Oh God! Okay. Why are they called? Why
That's a good question.
Are they called the Cleveland Browns?
Because of Family Guy, I think.
The Cleveland Browns are a professional American football team based in Cleveland, named after their original coach and co-founder, Paul Brown.
Okay, so it's Paul Brown.
They were called the Brown Bombers originally. They also had a mascot at one point named Brownie the Elf. And at the top of this, we did say mascots.
Okay, so it's
elf versus a
bear. The bear wins, right?
The bear wins. I mean, there was no questioning it.
There wasn't.
It was just being pedantic about it before the inevitable slaughter.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a neat one. The Broncos versus the Packers. Now, the Packers are called the Packers because they were originally sponsored by the Acme Meat Packing Company. So the Packers are just guys. They were just men in butcher's outfits packing meat. That's all they're doing.
The horse is kicking him in the head once.
Yes, he is. I think that's what this comes down to.
Yes.
Hold on. How many people are... How many people work in a meat packing plant? There's no easy answer.
Yeah. No,
it's just one.
Yeah.
And it poof. It like head easy.
Yep.
The Colts. So another horse.
Another horse.
The Chiefs.
Or Cultists.
Cultists. So the Chiefs. If we're going off of the original name, which some people,
yeah, there's
some people still don't like the fact that they're named the Chiefs, but they've won Super Bowls, so they actually get to have a say in what their name is and what it isn't. But that's a topic for another time. Again, not our place.
Yeah.
But if we're going off of their original name, I'm going to say that he's an Indian war tribe person, like an Indian warrior, like an American Indian warrior.
Yeah, Native American.
Yeah, a Native American warrior.
Yeah.
Versus a horse.
The chief has it.
I think he has it.
The chief has it.
Like,
yeah.
because even then, they commandeered horses
Yeah.
when the Europeans came
absolutely.
over
Yep.
and started riding horses.
Yep. Which also means they're walking right up their next bracket, too.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, we'll get there. Dolphins.
Oh, wait. This totally blows my football analogy out of the water, because then the Dolphins just on a turf field.
It's just a dolphin just lying there, just like squeaking horribly, and he just can't move.
The Patriots just, well, God love America. Come on, Dolphin.
And he definitely has a gun at this.
It's Tom Brady for sure, right? It's just Tom Brady.
Oh, no.
Tom Brady's definitely the mascot of the Patriots.
It's just Tom Brady walking up to this mewling, crumpled form of a dolphin lying on a football field and going, "I'm sorry, boy." Just...
Even, like, actually, here's a good question. What's the minimum depth of water a dolphin needs to have a fight?
like
What's
4 feet. Like, flood the football field with football field with like 4 feet of water. I can't even, like, I just don't even. Because when I hear the word New England Patriot, I just think of like a guy I just think of just some guy,
yeah,
who lives in a house with an American flag out front, you know.
Yeah.
And he definitely owns guns.
He definitely owns at least one.
Multiple.
Yeah.
At least one. But
Yeah.
the fact that
it's Tom Brady.
versus a dolphin.
And yeah, even if we flooded the field so the dolphin could swim around, Tom Brady wins.
I think Tom Brady still wins. I mean, he
Yeah.
kind of has to. Now
we get into
here's an interesting
big
one.
questions. Yeah.
The New York Giants versus the they're the Las Vegas Raiders, but they were the
Yes.
Oakland Raiders. So the Giants versus the Raiders. How many Raiders are there? Is it just one Raider?
It's just one Raider for
And
now.
it's just one
Raider
Giant.
and one Giant.
How tall is the Giant? I'm gonna roll a D100 to find out.
Okay. Has to be at least like 10 feet, right? Like that feels...
That's why I'm rolling a D100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is 92 feet tall. Just
Yeah, the Giant wins. The Giant wins. What the okay.
The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Seattle Seahawks. First off, I'd like to point out at this point that the Seahawks are not a real animal.
No, they are not.
And so the closest approximation is that this emblem is based on like a marine falcon species, like an eagle species.
Oh, I was thinking like a seagull.
A seagull versus... And Steelers does have some origin in history. The Steelers are based on the steel workers of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's steel industry is like second to none in the entire world, whatever it was. And the Brotherhood of the Steel Workers brought together this football team called the Steelers. The yellow is iron, the red is fire, and the blue is... It's like iron, fire, and water, like the three things that make the steel industry.
That hardened steel.
Yeah, that hardened steel, right? But a Steeler is just a dude who works in a Steeler plant.
How much steel does he get? How big is his steel rod? That's the question
here. Do you want me to roll
here.
a D6 in pounds, or like a D10 in pounds, or like a?
I would roll a D10 in pounds.
A D10 in pounds of steel.
Yes.
All right. He has 5 pounds of steel.
5 pounds of steel.
What can he make that into? He can make
anything.
He can make
just a club to take down a bird.
He can make it.
That will be. I feel like this is like the Steelers' homebrew rule. That is, they now have 5 pounds of steel that they can use for prep before every fight.
Right.
And he just made a baseball bat, and he can take down a bird.
He just punk.
He can get a bird. He might get scratched up a
just
bit,
like
but he
just
can
like
get
the
a bird.
homebrew rules for a couple of these other ones that we've done so far. Like,
Yeah.
oh god.
And it's on an entire football team.
Yeah, we have an entire football team. The Raven is smart enough to use tools and has a gun. Like,
yeah.
we picked the era of Cowboy, the era of Texan.
Yeah.
We rolled a
making this up as we
D100 for a
go.
lightning bolt. Like, this is all fine and dandy. Last but not least, my home team, and we kind of glossed over the fact that you had a home team in this.
I don't. I mean, kinda. I have the Patriots, kinda. I mean,
if you were originally
really
from New Orleans, it would be the Saints. But if you live here now, the New England team is the New England Patriots. It's the Patriots.
I really quick will say one of my favorite pickup lines I used to use is like, "Hey, it's okay if you don't have feelings back. I've learned to love unconditionally because I'm a Saints fan."
Exactly. Can I just say?
All right. Yes.
Secret Base is a sports journal, or like a sports journalism firm, right? And they have a YouTube channel and they make a lot of sports related videos, but their best writer is a guy by the name of John Boyes, and he writes a lot of creative sports documentaries. And he did a 6-part series about the Seattle Mariners baseball team, a 7-part series about the Atlanta Falcons football team, a 4-part series about one pitcher from the Toronto Blue Jays, and has just announced and released the first couple of episodes of a 7-part series about the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh, okay.
They talk about the Saints in the Falcons documentary, and I feel so bad for Saints fans and Falcons fans equally, but Saints fans as well, just like, what the fuck?
I got to be down in New Orleans when they won the Super Bowl. It was absolutely incredible.
That's good.
Absolutely.
So my home team, the Tennessee Titans versus the LA Rams.
I feel like we need a Titan.
We need to pick a Titan.
We need to pick a Titan.
Okay, list.
My first thought is
Greek
Atlas.
Titans. List of Greek Titans. Titans and Titanesses in Greek mythology. Okay, Titans. Okay, so the Titans were 6 elder gods.
Yes.
Kronos, Kolos, or Koeus, Creus, Iapetus, Hyperion, and Okeanos.
How many is that?
Sons of Uranus and Gaia, who ruled the cosmos before the Olympians came to power. So that's 6. So roll a d6.
Yeah, I was just going to say, roll a d6. Yeah. And that's our Titan.
Okeanos. So who is Okeanos? Okeanos was the primordial Titan god of great earth-enriching river Okeanos, font of all the earth's fresh water, rivers, wells, springs, and rain clouds. Did he have any weapons? Let's see. Heavenly body, regulated the heavenly bodies.
He was
from and set
a
into the
blue-horned god with a tail of a fish.
Depicted as a bullhorn god with the tail of a serpentine fish, a form shared by his river god sons. Usual attributes were a fish and a serpent. Accessible to the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. He's holding a snake. I can see that he's holding a snake,
and it looks like he's holding a weasel in the other hand.
Here's a depiction of Okeanos. Looks like he might be holding a something. Okeanos and Tethys. There's a lot here.
He was a god before a god. He has to win, right?
Yeah. So versus a ram. Like,
I forget.
Duh,
I'm so
right?
stupid. I think I just had like an ADHD misfire in my brain because I totally forgot that was an animal, and I'm just like, yeah, versus a ram truck. Like,
in either case, the Titans win. But my God, imagine if it was just a ram truck against any of these other things.
it was a ram commercial. It wasn't even a football game. It was a promo of like, our truck can withstand the wrath of a Titan. Oh shit, no, can't. Never mind. Don't hear that.
Like, oh shit, no, it can't. All right. Let's make this a little bit more of a fair fight for the Ravens, shall we? How many Ravens are there?
I feel like a D10 is fair.
A D10 of Ravens?
Yeah.
3.
The tiger wins. The tiger has
wins.
lunch.
The tiger wins. Tiger's eating a snack before lunch.
Yeah.
Cowboys versus the Texans is a little more interesting.
The Texans are just Cowboys with better guns.
They are. So, you make a ranged attack, I make a ranged attack.
Deal.
Whoever rolls higher hits.
Oh wait, but who am I?
Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the Cowboys or the Texans?
I'll be the Cowboys.
Okay, I'll be the Texans.
You're closer to Texas.
Yeah.
Right.
Both of these teams are based in Texas. Okay. So you're the Cowboys, I'm the Texans. Let's roll ranged attacks. This is just rollies.
Yep. I got mine.
I got mine.
I got a 4.
I got a natural 1.
The Cowboys win!
The Texans just walk out onto the field just like, what you think you're doing around these parts, son? And he reaches for his rifle behind him, but the Cowboy has the quick draw. He's just like,
the Cowboy. Oh, I was gonna even say the Texans were ready for the gun. They weren't ready for the lasso.
Oh yeah, what the? And like, poof, and just like, sorry, son, but I'm the original Texan. Like,
yep.
Cowboys win.
Cowboys win.
Cowboys win. There we go. Chargers Saints. I'm rolling a D100.
Wait, no. Wait, but this is it because we said that this is a bolt. Is this God or Zeus?
It's a bolt of lightning. It's just.
Well,
I use Zeus metaphorically.
Yeah.
I use Zeus metaphorically. Right. This is just a bolt of lightning. So it's raining. It starts raining in the stadium, and the Saints. I imagine this is like a different saint because like Saint. Oh God, who was the saint that disassembled the jet? Like,
I don't know. I would even say it would be fair that we roll the D100 4 times, once per quarter.
Oh fuck. So the first time was just a first quarter affair.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's 4. Just 4. Okay.
All right. So the saint is
it's just
the other
standing
side
there.
of the field.
He's just like, oh dear. It appears that it is raining, brothers and sisters. Let us rejoice in God's great tidings. As he 86 off in the distance you hear like the lightning clock would start rolling at this point, and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, please evacuate the area. and he's still standing there steadfast, like as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
In the bag.
As I walk through the 85.
Woo!
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I shall not fear, for I know no evil. And he's just like, he's strong. He's got one more chance.
He's holding in there.
He's holding up. 30. Okay.
Okay. The saint has
and the storm passes, and the saint just continues to stand and says, "Amen." And he just like moves on. Okay, there we go. He just moves on. The Eagles versus. Okay, there are now 46 guys on this football team with football gear and 1 football. Can they catch an eagle? Can 46 men collaborate to catch an eagle? Like, surely.
Yeah, they have to be able to. I do think we roll at least a D4 to see if the eagle took anyone else.
A D4 for because they're all wearing helmets too.
Yeah, they have helmets on. Yeah.
He took out 2. So now there's a team of 44 football players.
Against a saint.
Against 1 saint. We'll move on to that later. Oh God, the Buffalo Bills are the Chicago Bears. This is one of the most fun segments I've ever done, by the way. I love this is
so good. So, Buffaloes versus Bears.
Okay. Similar situation to the Falcon. Is the bear going to be able to kill a buffalo before it gets tired of trying to kill a buffalo? How big can a bear get?
I did.
Because I saw, well, Chicago Bears, you're probably looking more at a black bear than a brown bear.
Yes.
So what is the average size of a black bear versus the size of a buffalo? Because I saw a buffalo on my Western trip.
Yeah.
They're huge. They're like honestly huge.
Like 6 feet tall and 400 pounds for a black bear.
If it's standing on its hind legs?
Yes.
Okay.
And then a buffalo
6 feet tall.
6 feet tall.
At the shoulder.
At the shoulder, 2,500 pounds.
A bear is gonna stand on its hind legs and like hook onto the side of this buffalo, and the buffalo's just gonna like walk away. It's gonna walk down the field. Like it's just like chewing on.
I'm curious.
It's just how fierce the bear is.
I did just find a YouTube video from Yellowstone of a bear fighting a buffalo.
Link it to me. We're watching it. We're seeing who wins that fight.
Just hop on YouTube right now and type in bear versus buffalo.
All right. Bear versus... Hey, look, Dapper D. I wonder who that is. Bear versus buffalo Yellowstone. All right. I'm going to very quickly mute this.
Yep.
This is the first one? Right here?
Yeah.
Let's watch this. Oh, God. It looks like the bear's putting up a pretty strong fight.
Yeah.
But the buffalo is also just standing there.
The buffalo's not doing a lot.
He's not doing a lot, but that could mean one of two things. It means he's either really sturdy or he's helpless.
And now out of the blue corner, standing at 550 pounds.
Say hello to...
Paddington!
Brownington! This video is 5 minutes long. Hold on.
Yeah, I would just, go for it a bit.
Oh, he backed away. It stopped fighting it. Look at him. Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit, the buffalo just scared that bear.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's biting it again. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess if the buffalo is down at the end of this video.
Yeah.
It's not looking great for the buffalo.
I don't like that it looks like it's like just walking normal. I know it's holding on to the buffalo, but it looks like it's just like
it's just
going
like,
for a walk with its buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
Like, Jerry, we're trying to get you off of this stuff, remember?
Jerry went a little hard in the paint today.
A little hard in the paint. Okay. They end up in the water. Like, and the buffalo is still going.
The buffalo's just like it looks like this is just an inconvenience in the buffalo's day.
It's an inconvenience to the buffalo. Like he's not going down. Uh-oh.
No.
He panned away for 1 second and now we can't see the buffalo. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't care about the mountains, guy.
There we go.
They're still in the water.
Oh God. It's just trying to
it looks like the bear is winning now.
Yeah. Because the buffalo's trying to get back on land, but it's just, like, not.
How does this man pull out his camera to film this and thinks that it shouldn't be on the buffalo and the bear?
That's a chunk. That's a chunk of the buffalo's, like, fur. Let's call it fur for the sake of the monetization of the stream.
Yeah.
Or anything else. Oh, there's man number one. Okay. So this fight
I think the bear has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's...
Yeah, the bear has it.
Fast forward a little bit. Yeah. That buffalo's going down.
The bear wins. Yeah.
Bear wins. Well, that's
okay.
Just a little bit sad. That was kind of an interesting video to watch, though.
It was.
Bear wins.
I feel like bear wins.
Taking from real experience. The bear wins.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Kansas City, a Bronco versus a Chief. Oh, God.
We've already established. The Chief can take on a horse.
But this is a Bronco, though. Broncos are wild horses.
Yes.
They can't be tamed as easily as colts. A colt is also a baby horse, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is a fully grown horse. It was able to stab the baby. It's gonna be able to stab the father, let's assume.
I think the Chief has it. I really do.
I'm struggling to come up with a way that the Bronco wins this.
Yeah.
Which, this has weirdly been a progression where now the Chief has to fight a bear. It's getting stronger and stronger opponents each time.
He's learning.
All right. The Patriots or the Giants. We have already established the Giant is 92 feet tall. Patriot has Tom Brady. Does Tom Brady
Brady
get a gun now?
I feel like it's fair if he does. I also think Tom Brady has a little bit of an advantage with like being the better New York team.
Whew, yeah.
I think Tom Brady has a chance.
Tom
I do
Brady
think he has a chance on a night.
Is it enough of a chance that it's a coin flip though?
I wouldn't say a coin flip. I would say like
wheel, like random wheel names. Pick a wheel. Okay, so it's Tom Brady versus a giant, and you can weigh one of them to be like more likely than the other one. I think.
I don't.
This does not count. That was me accidentally clicking. Yeah. Hold on.
You can't just copy and paste a giant a couple times if need be.
Switch to advanced mode, more customization. You cannot paste several entities at once. Ah, here we go. Weight. Okay, so the giant's weight is like 6 to 1. 85% chance. Tom Brady has a 15% chance to win this.
Totally reasonable, yeah. Come on, Brady.
No. It's a giant. I mean,
it's a giant.
It's a giant. Like,
he tried.
Tom Brady put up a valiant effort.
He did, but
he put up a valiant. It's a giant. Oh God. What is a Steeler making with 5 pounds of steel that is gonna go up against the Greek god of the seas?
Did the Titans have weaknesses?
The Titans have weaknesses. Oh God! What if we looked up Okeanos? There we go. Or rather, Okeanos.
How are the Titans defeated? Zeus cast the fury of thunderbolts. Damn it! The one thing that can take down the Titans. It's been eliminated.
It has. Damn it! I was about to say it's still in the running. There's a 1 in 4 chance. No. Okay. If it got to Chargers versus Giants or Titans, it would be like a much better chance on the D100. I like that.
I think the Steelers, in prepping for the battle, did the same Googling I did.
Yes.
And they made a lightning rod.
Invoking the power of the Zeus.
Invoking the power of Zeus.
Does that mean we just get to roll 4 times on the lightning chart again?
Yes, I think we roll on the lightning chart again.
But it has a better chance because it has a better chance each time. Because the lightning rod has to charge up like...
Yeah.
It has to take charge from the ground to draw the light. So 10, 20, 30, 40?
That's a big... Sure, yeah.
All right. Quarter 1. The Steelers walk out onto the field with a giant rod and stick it into the ground and say, have fun, and like run the fuck away.
It hides.
And Okeanos is like, what is this strange contraption? 17.
Okay. Not looking good so far.
It's within bounds in the next couple of quarters, though.
17?
I'm going 10 or lower, 20 or lower, 30 or lower, 40 or lower.
All right, no. Yeah. All right, sounds good. Yep. All right.
What is this strange contraption? And it begins to rain, and he's like, I did not call upon this. What is this? Who are you? 27. Again. 1 round later.
Yeah.
And you hear like rumbling, and it's like, the Zeus behind this.
Yep.
5.
The Steelers took down a Titan.
And just like gets banished to the realm of like Gehenna, or not Gehenna. What was it? The underworld. And Hades. Then he's just, Okeanos is just riding the river Styx, and he sees Hades, and he's like, what happened to you? And it's just like, goddamn lightning.
Some steel worker.
Some mortal found a way to defeat me. All right. That was genuinely...
Yeah.
I'm sad that my home team got knocked out, but holy shit, was it a good, like,
what a way
home
to
rule
go
for it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Here we go again. Bengals, Cowboys. The cowboy walks out of the field and he's like, I've fought something like you before.
Yes.
And the tiger is...
Now, I do feel the need to stress, though, tigers are fast.
Tigers are very fucking fast.
It's gonna be hard for the cowboy to get a good shot.
Plus,
on
they
that
have stripes.
tiger.
Football fields have stripes.
And they blend in.
They blend in a little bit better.
I feel like the tiger has a chance.
Enough
And
of
also-
a chance that it's a coin toss?
Yes.
Let's call it a coin toss. Was it a coin toss for the Cowboys and the Tigers or the Lions as well? It might have been.
I think so,
I
yeah.
think it was.
Yeah.
Luck be on
Just-
his side. That heads be Cowboys, tails be Tigers.
Yep.
Here we go. 4 quarters play. First 10 seconds of the game. Just they move on.
The cowboy. It's hard to beat a gun.
It's hard to beat a gun. That's why tigers are endangered, people. It's guns. That's why they're endangered.
Yep.
It's gonna be a guy with a gun. Oh my god. I really want to see how this turns out now. Saints versus the Saints versus the football team. There are 44 men in football gear with 1 football versus a Saint. Do we have to decide what Saint this is now?
I don't think so because I think it's fair. Saints have a lot of following behind them.
Yes, they
People
do.
listen to. I think
we roll a persuasion check.
We roll a persuasion check to see how many people the Saint can get onto the field with it.
And then they, like, yeah, okay. Yeah. I like this. I like it.
How many Catholics does it take to take down a football team?
So the persuasion check was a 6.
It's not, everyone has off days.
Everyone has off days. I'll say that this Saint has been joined by, like, 1 or 2 of the people from the foot. Let's roll a d6 to see how many we converted, because it would be a better result.
I think it's, at this point, it's less about the football team winning and more about how many
people
numbers
are they
can we
losing
whittle from them. Yeah.
Oh, even with a 6, though, he was able to convert 5 people over to his side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, all right, guys, see you at church. It's like,
church.
What are you talking about? It's like, come back here. And like, nah, man, I'm good. 39, can we do this now? 39 men in football gear with 1 football. They've lost some numbers. Their morale is shrinking a little. Versus a cowboy with a gun and a lasso. We've seen this. We've seen this with a buccaneer.
We have.
But the Cowboy's a lot better prepared, I think.
He's ready. Like, he's knew it was coming up. Yeah. So, I think.
How do we do this? Like,
okay. There's 4 quarters in a football game.
Yes.
He would need to take down 10 people a quarter to beat the entire football team.
And even then, at the end of the game, if there's a low enough amount of people left in a final showdown, he could take them on.
Yeah.
So
I think it boils down to, like,
so let's mechanize this. Let's mechanize this. What are we rolling to determine each quarter? Like,
I think,
like a d20 to see how well he does, and then a dice after that?
a d20 to see how well he does, and then we'll figure out how many people he took out that quarter.
Okay. Just going off of feel. That's a 7. Let's call that first one a d8.
For a 7? Okay.
He's got a gun, dude.
That's fair.
He's got multiple guns, to be fair.
Yeah.
2 down. We're down to 37 people.
So he might not make it.
Maybe. We'll just have to see. That's an 11. He's getting better. Let's call it a
getting better.
A D10 or a D12?
D10.
A D10.
Because we got a lot of room to go still from an 11.
That's 9 people.
Oh, second quarter, he did pretty well. Going into halftime.
From 37 to 28.
Yep.
Going into halftime.
Yep.
He gets a halftime break.
Yep.
He gets to reload. The football team is all sitting there like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the football team is now in grieving. It's hard for them to focus.
It's going to be harder. I think there's a bigger die. Even despite a lower result, it's a bigger die.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're thrown off the rocker.
Third quarter, same thing, 11. So instead of a D10, it's a D12.
Fair, yep.
That's 2. He's doing a little worse.
No, the football team is pissed now.
It's a tempo swing. Yeah, it's a tempo swing. It's going to be a lower die, depending on the result. So they went from 28 to 26.
Yep.
That's a 14. He does even better. Is it go back down to a D10 or is it still a D12?
I would say D12 still.
Let's call it a D12.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to kill all 25 of them with a D12. But he gets 10 of them.
Oh my god. So come the end of the night.
End of the night, the cowboy
he took out a good amount.
Took on 39, brought them down to 15.
Yeah. But I think that
That's
they still win.
No, sorry, 16, yeah.
Yeah, 16. I think the football team still wins because they have the numbers on their side.
Do we roll one more time for the sudden death match? Like at the end? Like the game is over.
I think the football team just has
it. They were able
to withstand. Like it's just a numbers game at that point. They had it.
But they go into it with 15 people left or 16 people left, rather 16. than the 50 that they were before. Yeah. They're really demoralized. Season
really took it out on them.
They're really demoralized. Such a fun fucking. We could do this again. We could.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Just this.
We could do baseball teams.
Yeah. So. Bears?
I don't even want to do the other bracket. I'm gonna be real. This is such a good news.
Yeah, we can skip the other bracket.
Yeah.
We're approaching 2-hour watch time too.
Yeah. So, Chief versus a bear. I think the bear has it. Bears kill people.
Okay, listen. The bear has taken down a football coach and a buffalo.
He has the taste of human.
He does. But how good of weaponry has because the chief hasn't really had to pull out his whole arsenal for this bear yet. No. Could a Native American did Native Americans fight and kill bears? I think that's a fair question to ask. How did American Indians hunt or fight bears? American Indians had great respect for bears. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
In the Pacific Northwest, the bear is often depicted in art and sometimes as ancestral figures. Did American Indians hunt or fight bears? Yes and... Oh, wait, no, that's a different thing. They used bow and arrows as they have hunted. How did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu bows and arrows as they have hunted other animals. They have to engage a bear outside of their hunting time. They're likely to use a blade or a spear.
I think the bear has it.
I think the chief has a fighting chance, like a sporting fighting chance.
I would say like
I'll pull up the wheel again.
The wheels, yeah.
Let's say that instead of okay, an American Indian warrior versus a bear. A bear. So the weight is going to be a little different. Yeah. I say it's not even.
It's not even.
Let's make it 2-1. 2/3 chance that the bear gets it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Still a sporting chance. An underdog's sporting chance.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see how this goes. Oh my god. Okay, no.
The bear wins.
The bear wins.
The bear wins.
The bear just rips the American Indian's head off. It's terrible. Oh, God. See,
He took down a titan. It's time for a giant.
you ever heard the story? You ever heard the story of the Prince and the Pauper? Or not the story of the Prince and the Pauper. Sorry, no. Oh God, what is his name?
Are you thinking David versus Goliath?
No, not David versus Goliath either. What's the Mickey Mouse thing where Mickey fights the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know its
The
name.
Little Tailor? That's what it's called. The Little Tailor. So the Little Tailor defeated a giant with his sewing needle.
Yes.
Can the Steeler make a really big sewing needle? Or a sewing needle shaped object?
I think he's had to make very easy to make objects this far. I think the Steeler needs a crafting check.
Yeah, so...
We'll add some sort of proficiency to it. We'll say like +3, but... What did the Steeler get?
You said +3?
Yeah, that feels like a fair proficiency.
You got a 12.
I think the giant wins. At least, I would even bring it back to the wheel with the same 2/3 odds then.
2/3?
I think so. You think that's fair?
You
think the giant has more?
A steel worker.
With a giant sewing needle.
The same giant.
The same giant.
Instead of 6, it's 5.
Fair.
I feel
fair.
like.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
This all went downhill so fast when the giant was 92 feet tall. This could have been a 10-foot tall giant.
It could have.
But it's not.
It could have just been Andre the Giant.
I am so stressed. Oh my God. Oh my God. The steelworker pulls it through.
The steelworker.
He takes down the giant. Oh my God. The power of ingenuity triumphs. Holy shit.
Good for the steelworker.
Oh my God. And then to finish off the conference, a steelworker versus a bear.
He wins. He fights the bear.
Can you make a gun with 5 pounds of steel? Because if you can make a gun, if you can make a rudimentary gun with 5 pounds of steel, you're winning against a bear. I think.
To make gun.
How many pounds of steel does it take to make? Can you actually make a 5-pound cannon with? No, a 5-pounder cannon is a 5-pound steel ball as the projectile.
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely can make a gun with 5 pounds of steel. Easily you can.
Steel wins. I think. And so, the battle comes to this. 15 men in football gear with 1 football. Did they lose the football? Hold on. We need to flip a coin. How many times? 3 times to see if they lost the football during any of these engagements?
I would say who was their first?
Well, 2. Okay, so
yeah, 2 times.
Because an eagle can steal the football, but if they killed the eagle, they get the ball back. So did the Buccaneer pop the ball? Heads or tails?
Did the Buccaneer pop the ball? Yeah.
Heads or tails?
Tails, they popped it.
Tails, the Buccaneer popped the ball.
Yeah.
They popped the ball. So they have not had a ball for the Eagles or the Saint. Probably very demoralizing for the Saint, even more so than normal.
Yeah.
So 15 men. And these men are ragged. Do we roll to see if they have their gear still? Or if it's really bad gear?
Oh no, I would actually say it's the opposite. They've scrapped all the gear now. Like they're not scrapped it, but like they have the best gear.
They've used like the best gear that was left over, right? So they have the best gear of all of the people that they have died in their name.
Yeah.
So 15 men in the best football gear that they can afford versus 1 steelworker. with 5 pounds at his disposal. What does the steel worker make to fight 15 men?
Here's what I think. In Googling, it takes around 3 pounds to make a gun. If you're using molds, which I'm assuming with the peptide, he has molds, 3 pounds. And then a bear trap.
2 bear traps.
Yeah, probably 2 bear traps.
Why didn't he just make a bear trap for the bear? Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. A gun.
A gun and 2 bear traps. So I think immediately we take off 2 people without rolling or anything. 2 people are gone because of the bear traps.
13
people are left.
1 guy versus a standard NFL football team.
We got down to 1 football team.
We got down to a football team without its reserves, basically.
Yes. I think the steelworker has it. Wait, no. There's 13 of them left. There's 12 rounds. There's 12 rounds on that gun, probably, right?
I mean, depending on the kind of gun.
Yeah. Or it could be a revolver with 6. I think it's fair to say it's a revolver with 6 and he reloads at halftime.
Okay.
So the most he can take out is 6
in 1 quarter.
Round. Yeah. No, in one half, because he gets to reload at halftime.
Yeah, in a half, exactly. But if he does all of that in 1 quarter, this is going to be interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
8. So he doesn't get a D6. Wait, no. I would
say give him a D6, yeah.
It's just 1 D6 per round.
Yeah, 1 D6 per round, yeah.
To a maximum of 6.
To a maximum of 6, yeah, because that's how many shots he has.
Okay. Round 1. 1.
Oof.
Manages to get 1.
Strong. They've gone through this before. They know what they're doing.
He can fight off, like, yeah. He has to fight them off. Like, it's like, hey, I only got 1. And they're like,
I want to roll the next one. I have my D6 ready.
On a D6, you can get a maximum of 5.
I did 5.
5. All right. And like,
as he gets swarmed, he's able to.
The O-line is dead.
Yes.
The entire O-line.
So he's doing good. He's hanging in.
Halftime. 7 men in football gear.
Against 1 guy with a revolver.
Guy with a gun and 2 used bear traps.
And 2. Oh, he definitely gets to reset those bear traps. I feel like at this point they get to roll to see if they get stuck in a bear trap, but yeah.
Yeah. Roll to reset the bear trap, or if they were shoddily made and he can't reset them. So
I got an 18.
And I got a 9.
So that's 1.
So 1 of the bear traps is definitely usable.
Yeah.
Which means 1 more gone. 6 people left.
And he has
You roll the first one. You roll the first one.
He has 6 shots, and I got a 4.
If this die rolls a 1, the football team is down to 1 dude.
Yep. The survivor, the Washington football
If it gets
team.
any more than 1,
the Steeler wins.
The Steeler wins. Oh my god. I don't even want to roll it. This is just too intense. The scene has been set in my mind so vividly that I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. I know.
I'm like kind of rooting for this 50-person football team just slowly carving their way along this season, making it work.
It's gone. Oh no.
What'd you get?
3.
The Steeler eliminates the last football player sitting there. He's like, I just wanted to play some ball. And the Steeler's like, well, you joined the wrong league.
And drops the gun. resets, like, walks over. This field covered in bodies of various things.
26.
Like, because
Did all this take place in one day? Are you now saying that the field has a Titan laying on it?
Yeah! No, the Titan went down to the underworld.
Right, the giant is still there.
The giant is lying there dead. Just... Oh my god. Oh my god, I am fucking dying.
Those 5 Saints that, or those 5 Washington football players that won't the Saint is just like sitting back. Yeah, I survived 2023 season. You don't hear about it much.
Just barely. I'm only thankful that Father Armand came around and changed my mind, because I could have met a much worse fate.
Did you almost fight one of the Titans or a giant? No, a steel worker.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Oh my god, the fucking... Now that is fantasy football! New format, new episode format, fucking fantasy football.
Fantasy sports. And
Fantasy
next week
sports.
we'll do baseball or something
And
like that.
if we wait long enough in between episodes, we can do football again. We can do
Yes.
home rules, different home rules.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was fucking
I feel like every like team has a starting like home rule, obviously.
Yes,
And next
yeah.
time, every team starts with multiples of that thing.
Absolutely,
Reasonably.
yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Besides the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers is just one lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And the intensity of the storm brings up or down the chance of the... Oh my
I did,
God.
like, in the back of my brain, I'm like, I wish there was, like, WWE rules of, like,
That's-
let's roll for a random lightning bolt. And, like,
That's
here comes the Chargers
fantasy
with the steel chair.
football.
That's fantasy football.
Oh my...
The Steelers have it. It's the argument why Batman wins every fight. Well, what about prep time? How much prep time did he get?
Yeah. Kevin McAllister beats Batman with the right amount of prep time. Can we just mourn some of the teams that could have gone a little farther with better matchups? Like,
I mean, yeah.
we could have had a lion in here. We could have had a random lightning bolt strike the other guy down dead.
The lightning bolt could have won everything.
It could
Like,
have. It just
wait, what would we have done if the lightning bolt went against the Washington football team?
it wouldn't have been able to. Well, I mean, okay.
No, it would have been able to. If the lightning bolt beat the Saints, it would have been Washington versus the lightning bolt.
Roll for it. The lightning bolt kills one guy. The football team moves on.
Pretty much.
Starting with the entire football team, including the reserves, was a bit much. Just a bit much. And they still lost!
They lost! It's amazing how much we started with this obscure number of the entire football team, and we perfectly whittled them down.
Like perfectly!
Perfectly!
Like, we started with 50 perfectly, and then the pirate, the Buccaneer, I think, what was it? The Buccaneer killed like 8.
Yeah.
Like he killed 6 to start with, and it was 44. And then the Eagle killed like
3 or something like that.
Killed 2, leaving them with 42. The Saint converted 5, leaving them with the Eagle left them with 30. The Eagle didn't even kill. No, the Eagle killed 1. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So leaving them with 43.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And then the Saint converted 4 of them, leaving 39. And then the Cowboys slaughtered fucking so many of them, leaving them with 16. And the Steeler was able to kill all 16 with 2 bear traps and a revolver with 6 shots. Reloading it.
Reloading at halftime.
Oh my god.
And that's football I'd watch.
I think we can call this an episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Holy shit, dude. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you stopping by. I'm gonna switch over to...
You got any life advice?
Don't fight a fucking steel worker with 5 pounds of steel. It's not winnable. It's
impossible. They're too strong.
Impossible.
My life
the
advice.
Steeler, can we just acknowledge that the Steeler took down a Titan, a literal god, and a literal 92-foot tall giant?
Yep.
They had the grind set path to get to this point.
I in my little headcanon, he just owns football now. Like, he's just like the king of football.
He's the reigning champion for sure.
Yeah.
Like if anyone plays football, like, they have to beat the Steelers.
I love how quickly it ramped up for him, because his first fight was a bird.
There was a bird, and then a literal Greek god, and then a literal 92-foot tall giant, and then 16 men.
Yeah. My life advice is lightning rod's stronger than you think. Don't fuck with them.
Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week when we do something that isn't this, but God, I wish it was this. And Donna will hopefully be back next week.
Yes.
And
I've been Dadley.
I've been Dippy, and the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers are winning the 2024 Super Bowl. Just watch.
Yep.
Like, this was a really roundabout way of going about it, but that's what this all amounts to.
That's what I'm putting my money on. Yeah.
So until next time, your adventure matters.
Stay dapper.
And roll for initiative.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh my God, was my microphone muted that whole fucking time? No, it wasn't. Okay.